単位は5のテスト
Disclaimer.
Hello everybody, my name is Drake,
And I'm Grant.
and together we are JoJo Overdrive!
Guys, you're not gonna believe it. We're finally one step closer to getting JoJolian animated.
JoJolian anime is here! Yes!
Yay!
I never thought this day would be real, ever in my life, but now
I actually did.
we're
It's pretty.
here.
It's a
We're
pretty
here.
popular manga. I figured
Shut
it would
up!
get it.
Listen, okay, we're gonna be covering a lot of Steel Ball Run stuff in the future, so if you want to hear more of our opinions, I guess, make sure to subscribe and like the video and everything.
Honestly, with the hype around this, I think a lot of you guys are gonna be new here. So
Yeah, that's true. A lot of you guys might not even know, and you might not know also that we have a Twitter account where we post things. It's in the description, and you can follow it for updates and such. But anyways, images. We have a few. We have basically two
we got
sets.
multiple JPEGs.
Multiple. It wasn't just a Jolene PNG. We got a Johnny PNG, a Gyro PNG, and a background wallpaper art.
Yep, and the a little Rocky art too. Which
Yes,
is
we
nice.
got a little Part 9 art style Johnny and Gyro, which looks fantastic because Part 9's art style is fantastic.
So in the poster we have some filler characters I can see here. We have Gyro, Johnny, Hot Pants, Diego. But you notice they kind of snuck in the main character of the park to the side here.
Dot
Han.
Han. Yeah, he's there. He's there. The goat. Everyone remembers him. He's everyone's favorite character, and all these other frauds are next to him. But let's talk a little about the frauds, shall we?
I do want to say we're not gonna spoil stuff. Maybe tiny minor things. But
if we start talking about spoilers, we'll say from this point on we're talking about spoilers. So
yeah.
don't worry
So
about that.
if you haven't seen Steel Ball or haven't watched Steel Ball Run or read it,
in the
obviously no one's
clear.
watched it. Yeah, if you haven't read it, you're all good.
Let's start with the color palettes. I'll say I think Johnny is perfect. I think this is the perfect.
No green.
Oh my god! Yeah, if they made him green, I was gonna start crying. I was watching the JoJo Day event for 2.5 hours straight until 5 a.m.
You were a trooper. You posted the video. We were the first channel to get out an update.
That's the JoJo Overdrive quality we have here.
Exactly. That's why you should subscribe down below.
Always known for our punctuality over everything.
Yes.
No, but I'm so I'm so happy that they took basically the All-Star Battle color scheme and gave him the blonde hair, which was my biggest complaint about the All-Star Battle color scheme. And there's the really fun detail where his arm bracelet thingies are the American flag. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I never even
it's
thought
so
about
good.
that before. That's
Also,
so neat.
his undershirt is red.
Yes,
or whatever.
that's also true. That's
So,
also true.
It's just a really good red, white, and blue.
Just color-wise, that's I'm almost too amazed. I'm how did they get it this good? I was so scared it was gonna be bad, but they just nailed it. I think we're in for the most peak adaptation of all time. I think this may be it.
Gyro also looks good. I don't think quite as good as Johnny does.
I agree. But,
I think he could have used more detail on the torso area, but I get it.
I get it. Yeah.
Also mentioning that Johnny doesn't have the stars on his pants.
Yeah. Let's note all the major lack of detail. For a lot, the more noticeable stuff is obviously, like you said, the amount of haha balls on Gyro's shirt, and the stars on Johnny's pants have been removed. Obviously this is just for the sake of animation, so they don't have to animate every single dot on each individual person a million times. They're already doing enough for the rest of it, but there's even smaller details. If you look very carefully, most people don't even notice this kind of stuff. There's more little details on Gyro's belt usually, and those are gone. There's sometimes Gyro has a lot more lines on his pants. That's not always. A couple versions of his dress. Araki's changed the outfits a couple times for these characters. So it's Do we think these characters are gonna keep like these designs throughout the whole thing, or do you think like Johnny's gonna like get his feather or something like that he gets way later on, or anything like that?
Yeah. I would bet later, things will change a little bit.
I could see them keeping them as just like this, though. I could see that.
We got Gyro's belt. When are they gonna sell that in the JoJo merch store?
That would go crazy. That would be awesome. Yeah, his
I gotta
belt is
mention
silver this time.
the balls are green.
Yes, they kept it green. Gyro does not have a lot of green. It's more of like a secondary color. It's his like little cape thing and his like lipstick. But otherwise, it's just the balls, steel balls. But I'm so happy they're green. I'm so suspicious. Everything about this seems too good to be true. All of the colors are so well done. I'm scared. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna mess
CGI
up?
horses incoming.
Oh no! Don't say that. I'm assuming why they took out so much detail is because they're putting so much effort into the horses. If I had to guess.
Yes.
Because even characters like Jolene, which have a lot of detail on them, kept a very good amount of the detail in the anime design. So.
Yeah. So for the big image, we got the splash page. We see, Johnny, Gyro, Mountain Tim, Pocoloco,
Hot Pants, Diego.
Hot Pants and Diego, and Daihon.
Everyone's color palette seems pretty much just identical to their Shueisha manga palette. Obviously, of course, not Gyro and Johnny. But I'm guessing this is their final palette. But this frame looks specifically more as like a specific like teaser image or like concept art.
This looks like concept art to me.
They intentionally kept those characters really small in the background.
Also, the background specifically they look amazing, but it looks very concept arty like that. I don't think it doesn't really.
If I hear correctly, I heard that this image is taken from like a specific section of story from Steel Ball Run, so this like background location, everything is actually taken from a part of Steel Ball Run, and the fact that Diego Diego was in the lead in this period of story, so they're keeping like the places the racers are currently in accurate. So that's a good detail.
Interesting, we didn't get anything about Valentine. No Valentine PNG. No nothing with him.
No Valentine PNG. I guess we'll have to see that in the future. Okay. Overall, I think I think like art style wise, it's not quite like any like point of Steel Ball Run. Or it doesn't look like quite early art style or even late art style. It's kind of taking its own unique
more of its
spin.
own thing.
They got really thin legs. that's the first thing I noticed. Very thin legs.
When I was first woke up this morning all sleepy and I saw Gyro, it looked like his legs were like his torso just looked like massive compared to his legs. Looking at it, I think the shadows are just a little awkward for that one PNG because it's like his stomach is all in shadow, so it makes it just look bizarre.
This is a super small thing, but the image of Johnny PNG and Gyro PNG it's a not low quality, but it's like slightly under like 1080p. They haven't released like a very high quality.
Luckily, they did for the key visual thing.
Yeah, they did for a key visual and the profile picture of just the headshot of Johnny. That was in high quality, so that's good.
That's good.
I want to see higher fidelity Gyro. Come on, guys.
So it's kind of interesting with the new Iraqi art or whatever, and apparently all it says is like, congratulations that part 7's getting made or whatever.
Yeah,
so
that's what
nothing too crazy. But this is the first time he's drawn Gyro since 2018.
Yes. It's been a while. When was the last time? Do we know when he last drew Johnny? Probably recently. He draws.
I actually know off the top of my head for the JoJo magazine.
Ah, got it. Cool.
The cover when they did all of them.
Yeah, that makes more sense. They draw a lot of them.
It's interesting, even in all that time, or in that time, how Johnny looks like different in this new image by him than he did in the cover. Yeah. He looks a little older, and they both look really good in the Part 9 art style, though. They look baller.
Yeah.
Steel baller.
Another thing I'm noticing now about Johnny's new character design is that he has a lot like more hair. It seems like it seems like it's a lot thicker hair than he usually does. If I'm looking at different images, it's kind of a cool look actually.
A little longer too, yeah.
It's a little longer, a little thicker. Very cool. Do we think, because at the beginning of the story, Johnny's outfit is cut into like 2 pieces, but later on it becomes like a basically just like a onesie at some point. Do you think they mend that seam together at any point?
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
That'd be
funny.
That'd be funny.
I have to do my complaining now.
Okay.
And say,
begin the complaining. Begin.
We were literally joking around last night, and I said this, and I can't believe they actually did it.
Yeah.
For the freaking trailer.
Yep.
They had it so that they implied that Made in Heaven caused the Steel Ball Run universe.
For those of you who this isn't even a spoiler because it's never even addressed in universe.
I'd also hope you guys would have been watching part 6 too.
I would hope so. For those of you who are caught up with the anime and are anime onlys, you may think that this new story that takes place in 1890 takes place after in the new universe that we saw at the end of part 6, that's a logical thing to think. Like, I understand that. And the trailer would even imply that like it shows the timeline of the original and then it like jumps through the years back to 1890. But no, these are not connected at all. They're completely separate, distinct universes that Araki made, just as like not as quite a reboot, but more as just like a retelling with like new settings and new characters. He wanted to expand upon ideas that he couldn't ever do before because he was locked into the old universe. So he completely separated himself from the old universe. There's a ton of references and subtext that make it like pretty important to read parts 1 through 6, but otherwise it is a completely different continuity from the original 6 parts.
But if you skip, we'll find out.
We'll find out.
Let you down.
And you'll be blocked from JoJo Overdrive.
But yeah, I was literally joking last night and said, wouldn't it be funny if they started it out with Made in Heaven and then they did, and I could not believe it.
The whole JoJo Day event, like during that ending stretch, there were a ton of teasers that all started off with like going through every single like iteration of JoJo.
Oh, really?
Yes, because obviously that's just kind of JoJo's thing. Like it has a bunch of different characters. So, like for example, the mobile game announcement. It went through. It had new art for every single character, for every single main JoJo, and it was going through each one of them. I was like, "Is this it? Is this happening?" And then like a low poly star platinum like appears on the screen. I'm like, "This is not still going on." It kept on teasing me. And eventually it happened. I was so scared, but we got it.
I was going kind of doomer mode about like the release date for this. Which is kind of the elephant in the room, considering they didn't say anything. And there's no voice actors and no Netflix anything announced with it. But I looked at the thing where it's like the amount of time in between the announcement of the part being animated and it coming out, and all of them have been within a year.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
And the longest was Stone Ocean. Actually, I think the longest was Phantom Blood. Phantom Blood, I think, was announced for the 25th anniversary, but then didn't come out until 2013. But then they got into a groove of it, and then Stone Ocean was the second longest at like 240 days-ish. So I hope it can come maybe winter-ish would be nice.
This doesn't technically mean anything, but the fact that for the Stone Ocean announcement, we got only a Jolene PNG and nothing else, and in this we have a plethora of new images. And everything.
We had the voice actress for Jolene, though.
That's true. They could have just, I don't know. See, there's just too many variables. I don't want to like try and establish a pattern when I don't think there is. It matters
if they're gonna do weekly or not, too.
That's true.
If they do it weekly, it is literally going to run for an entire year. Because this is going to be the longest animated part.
Yes. How many? This is also important. How do you think like episode wise they're going to like stretch it? Do you think like we're talking like
Be long, over 50
starts,
episodes.
Like over 50. I think that's possible.
Stardust Crusaders, and obviously Stardust Crusaders is stretched, but
yeah,
that's like what, 38, 40, something like that?
I think it's closer to 50. I think that's generally.
I think it might actually be 48.
Like 48, yeah. Look that up.
Yeah, Stone Ocean was 36, I believe. So
yeah,
because
it's
I think they
condensed Stone Ocean a tiny bit, not a lot, but a tiny bit.
Yeah, Stardust Crusaders has 48 episodes, and it was split in 2 parts of 24.
There's also stretched. There's a lot of.
Maybe they will split it. I could see them doing that.
A lot of factors.
But yeah, if it runs weekly, it will for sure go for like a year. Imagine a year of JoJo Fridays.
Oh, that's. I've been so burned by the Stone Ocean batch releases that I'm so scared to ever believe that there could possibly be a weekly.
I'm hoping with the success of like Dan to Dan on Netflix and stuff being weekly, that they go, oh, maybe we should do this weekly.
Do you think it's even going to release on Netflix? Because it doesn't.
I don't know. If they didn't announce it with Netflix, it could just be like Crunchyroll or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. Something else you haven't mentioned that's just a small little thing is I really like what they've done with the logo. It's not exactly like the classic original Steel Ball Run logo, but it's close, but it still has like new elements. It has like the silhouette of Gyro on the horse, or I think that is. It's hard to tell. It's a guy on horseback, cowboy on horseback is on the logo, and it's got this cool like off
it is Gyro.
Magenta-y raspberry, I think would be the proper color, and like light blue. Like that's a color.
Looks like a candy logo.
For it. I'm so used to greens for it. This is nice and unique. I think that was really cool.
If you didn't see, they updated the JoJo Day like logo with the gyro on the horse or whatever.
Oh, did they? Okay,
yeah.
That's fun. I think that logo is like has been in Steel Ball Run for a while. That little silhouette, and I think it's like the thing on top of the Steel Ball Run trophy or something like that, which of course means it probably isn't Gyro, but it looks like him. Okay.
It is Gyro. Yeah, his hat's there. And his cape. Yeah, it's Gyro.
I would think so. It could be Johnny and his hood, like the little things.
It's not. It's definitely. The hat is a cowboy. Is a cowboy hat. It's definitely Gyro.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. I'll believe you.
It's because you're blind.
I know. Okay, don't mock me. Okay, we're gonna enter the spoiler section now because we're gonna talk about what we might think would happen in the future and changes we want to see. So if you don't want to get spoiled, even if you think you want to get spoiled, no, you don't. Click off the video. Go read it if you're that intrigued. So for like what changes do we think they could possibly make to the anime?
I think they're probably gonna make it that Valentine always looks the same.
I think that makes the most sense to me. For those who don't even remember, like if you read it like Steel Ball Run a while ago, or if you're somehow still here after not wanting to be spoiled, Valentine shows up and he looks fat. He looks like a fat guy. And then as the part progresses, he gets skinnier and skinnier until he's a very muscular, built individual. And even in flashbacks of later on, he looks like a very muscly guy. So that's led to a lot of weird fan theories about like, oh, what if this Valentine is an alternate dimension version and he transferred over? I mean, sure. That's a fun one. Like that fits with the character.
Do you think they're gonna do the Sandman thing? The fan theory about that?
I think they could. You're talking about the one where because it seems like Sandman / Soundman, maybe they're two different people. That's kind of the theory, is that like
pulls him out of a different universe at some point, and that's why he has such a different personality later on.
Mm-hmm. Of course, I just think he was going for a twist. That's all. That's obviously how you're supposed to read the interaction, but it could be fun to be like, oh, this isn't Sandman, this is Soundman from a different dimension.
I hope they make Who Shot Johnny Joestar like more confusing. Like they should just add more wrinkles. You should just like pan off to the side and there's like another person walking by. Exactly. I think that would be good actually.
That would be better. They should make it. They should make it worse.
I think we're both in agreement they're gonna use Dio's voice actor for Diego. That's pretty.
They better.
Obvious.
They used Dio's voice actor for the the games for All-Star Battle and everything. So I see no reason as to why they wouldn't. To be fair, they usually don't use the I don't think they've ever used the video game voice actors for any of them, any of the parts. But at the same time, this is very clearly a different case. We talked like earlier, like off camera, about like maybe even like Jonathan's voice actor could voice Johnny.
Yeah.
Though I feel like at some point you're just like, I don't want every single universal counterpart to voice their counterpart. I want some new blood injected into the franchise. But it could be cool. Jonathan's voice actor is good. He needs more
Diablo's
stuff
voice actor voicing Usagi in the Part 9.
Yes! True! So true, so real. I'm only thinking about this now. I have no ideas whatsoever. But for the Soundman name, in Japanese it makes more sense because they're pronounced basically identical. But do you think they're just gonna have the subtitles say Sandman like the whole time throughout the earlier parts, even when it doesn't make sense for like his like Native American tribe to call him Soundman? Like, it's weird because the whole beginning chunk of the story is his tribe saying like, Sandman, which they're actually saying Soundman, but in Japanese you can't tell. Soundman is a real rascal. We need to beat him to death or something. But at that point, it doesn't make sense, but I feel like they kind of have to, for the sake of the audience, change the subtitles, but it would just be weird.
Maybe they could have them enunciate it a certain way, but yeah, if you're talking about the subtitles.
And I didn't even think about the dub. Oh my gosh, what do you do for the dub? Oh, that'd just be so confusing.
Like you go like Sundman or something?
Sandoman? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, they would not do that.
They wouldn't do that. There's a lot of parts in Steel Ball Run that I think are gonna get very easily lost in translation, all the gyro jokes or everything like that. Because in a manga, you just put like a translator's note. This Japanese word is similar to this Japanese word, and it's a pun. But usually they don't do that. They haven't had a pattern of doing that for the anime. So I feel like Gyro is going to be talking absolute nonsense the whole time, which is funny in and of itself. A change that people have been kind of like requesting for a while is that to make Hot Pants' death like seem more significant, basically. I think that could be very cool. Maybe they could give her like a one
They'll give her like
flashback.
I think she'll fall off or whatever, and then have like a little flashback and then have a final line. If they gave again, spoilers for part 6, if they gave Jotaro a final line, which they did not need to do at all, and gave him his moment, they'll give Hot Pants her moment for sure.
I hope so. I really do hope so.
She'll go, remember when I was a nun?
Remember
X's on the eyes.
Exactly. Yeah. I just have we talked about like, do we think the horses are going to be CGI? Like, actually, do we actually think the horses?
Okay,
are gonna be
I think in the like really intense race segments they will be. I think during the like, if they're just like trotting along now. And I think they're going to use a lot of really clever camera work so they don't have to show the horse's legs really that often.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. It gives me hope. Of course, this is just a teaser concept image, but the image has those look hand drawn. If they're CG, damn well done. You tricked me. So I'm hoping, because they look good here. I hope they stay similar quality the whole time.
We're gonna have a freaking oh my god, how am I forgetting the name of it? Uzumaki situation. Where the first episodes are like perfect.
And then we're gonna start seeing episode 1 was perfect.
Yeah, episode 1.
Everything else was
we're gonna then see like 3D models of horses being drag and dropped across the screen.
I'm just thinking of that initial. It would probably be like end of episode 2 or beginning of episode like 3. The beginning of the Steel Ball Run, like the actual go. There are like thousands of horses just in a line. I think it's actually hundreds, but hundreds of horses in a row that they're gonna have to put. That's gonna.
Yeah.
I wouldn't I wouldn't judge them if they use CGI for that one. Like, that's fine. Like
Also,
go ahead.
I mean, they'll probably use a lot of like copy and pasting and stuff to make it just the same
true.
parts over and over.
That's true.
Filling it out. I guess now, I mean, if we think of other stuff, we'll go back to it, but we can go into the other like JoJo Day announcements since it is a big JoJo Day.
Yes, it is the JoJo Day.
And so the one that caught my eye was the figure arts figures. I thought those looked really cool.
Those are cool. Those are good ones,
It'll probably bankrupt me, but they looked really cool. We got a new mobile game or whatever. I didn't fully look into that. So what was the new mobile game? And
No
stuff?
idea. No, they didn't
show
show
anything?
no gameplay. They showed as I mentioned earlier, they showed a low poly Star Platinum punches like the screen with JoJo. It's not low poly, but you can tell it's a video game. Is what I'm saying. You can tell it's a mobile game. And no details have been released. It's developed by Gumi. Apparently, I don't know if they did one of the other mobile games, like one of the other Japanese exclusive only. I don't even know if America is even going to.
Yeah, I was gonna say America probably won't even get this. So
I probably not.
they showed Gyro's gonna be in Last Survivor. That's still trucking along. That must be pretty successful then.
Yeah.
If Last Survivor keeps getting characters.
I remember there was a big movement for a time where people were spamming on Twitter like hashtag port Last Survivor, and that never went anywhere.
That would have been cool.
But that would have been cool. But I get it.
The Johnny and Gyro Nendroids or whatever were fun with their horses.
Yeah, this is what kind of makes me think the anime might be further along, because this kind of stuff I don't remember being announced so quickly after Jolene PNG. That was
it might just be a weird thing where they're just having a hard time finding the voice actor or something.
Something like that.
But yeah, especially because the Nendroids are the anime look. Like they're not the they're not like
they very clear either designs. The easiest way to tell if it's the anime design is that Gyro has the X shape of the balls on his torso instead of like the full grid with like the lines and everything.
And Johnny has the red shirt, which is like
if you see Johnny, blonde Johnny in the All-Star Battle color scheme, that's the easiest way to tell.
They're doing a Steel Ball Run art exhibition in Japan called JoJo Caravan, where they said they're going to be showing off like different original art from it.
Yes.
I wish that could come into America. It won't ever.
All the freaking JoJo, all the people who run JoJo really hate America for some reason.
They did do JoJo World here though.
I know. I didn't know that.
That's cool. Yeah, we were thinking about it, but the first one was like a 7-hour drive, and we were like, we're not doing that.
Let's not.
And then they announced it for Anime Expo, which is closer, and Anime Expo was like way overpriced this year, and we were like, maybe if Anime Expo is good. If you guys have gone and say it's worth it, tell us in the comments.
Yeah, I've only ever been to the Comic Cons, so.
Yeah.
Random thing that just popped in my head. Back to Steel Ball Run. This is a small thing, but I really hope that for Oyo Como Vaz design, they give him the American flag face like paint again.
Oh yeah.
If you didn't know, the Shueisha colored version, it's like purple. It's like purple, but you can very easily tell it's supposed to be a American flag. And I saw even like in a prototype version, they had it be red, white, and blue. For like the coloring. I don't know why they changed it. I don't know why they made it purple. It's so weird. So I really hope they change it back. Hey, they gave the American flag to Johnny. Maybe they'll give it to Oyo Como Vaz. We can only hope.
Please. No new Rohan anything. Do they even care about the fans?
What do you mean? They showed the Out of Confessional live action.
Oh, okay. Well, that was already announced. I'm saying we need
18
new OVAs.
Yeah,
we need the arc with him in part 9.
Yes.
We need everything.
Yes.
This is ridiculous. They are making Rohan fans.
We need Rohan's Bizarre Adventure, and it lasts for 40 years.
We need Rohan returns to the Louvre.
Yeah. Yes. Finally. We need to get that fraud Jolene out of here and have Rohan fly high with Gucci instead.
Yes. I think that's probably pretty much it for now.
Am I just blank right now? The last thing that
Yeah.
I thought of was Oyo Como Va. I can't think of anything. There's a lot of merch and stuff. Like a lot of the
Tons
other
of
stuff
merch.
they announce is like
Yeah.
Japan only. Like, oh, I think they're having like a Japan only merch store open up or something called the JoJo
Yeah.
World or something. I don't know. That doesn't affect me. I am
Yeah,
not
so-
living in Japan. Shh. Big plot twist to all of you JoJo Overdrive patriots out there. I know, but. Anyways,
Yeah, a lot, and yeah, just a ton of. There was like perfumes announced. too,
oh yeah,
which
yeah,
I thought
there's
was
like
funny.
perfume. Yeah, you can finally smell like Mista. Yes, finally.
Yay!
So thank you everybody for listening to us ramble for 30 minutes. Wow. Okay. We'll definitely, as we said, we'll definitely have more stuff to talk about in the future, and as more information comes out, I'm sure we'll do more news
In our
posts
Part 9
and
discussions,
whatnot.
which we upload
We do
monthly
upload.
when the chapter's
Do you-
released.
Do you read JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 9? And then everyone clicks off the video. But if you do,
Yes.
if you're the two people who are still here, we actually talk about that. So if
That's
you've
like kind
reached
of our bread and butter,
If
yeah.
you've reached 30 minutes into this video and you read Part 9, you might as well like check out those videos. We have one for every single JoJo Lands chapter so far. So be sure to check them out. I guess that's it. This has been JoJo Overdrive, signing off.
Coming through now. Coming through now. Coming through. Shake it like your feet. Hold the drive. Coming through now. Coming through now. Coming through. Watch where you're going. Hold the drive. Let the downside up the top notch. Whatever haters do. Hot top.